This week in the parish of bourses and market structure, a Bangla Bust Up, Zimbabwe SE is on an IPO Roadshow as MIAX lists on NYSE. Now, the producer of Conclave is making a movie about the 1929 Wall Street crash as the parish hits summer strides. My name is Patrick Young. Welcome to the Bourse Business Weekly Digest. It's the Exchange Invest Weekly Podcast, episode 309. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very brief reduction of highlights amongst the key headlines from the week in market structure. All the analysis of the many events and happenings from the past 7 days can be found in Exchange Invest Daily Subscriber Newsletter, the unique guide to the Bourse business sent daily to your inbox. More details at exchangeinvest.com. Over in Bit Carnage, a story from the Wall Street Journal worth highlighting about token travails. Want to trade Amazon on a crypto exchange? The price might be off by 300%. A Kevin Lowe post on LinkedIn also notes, be careful what you wish for. Tokenization brings with it all the woes of the cryptoverse. In essence, crypto tokens introduce so many new forms of risk onto a blockchain, it's like Herstatt on crystal meth. If you enjoyed this excerpt, you may be interested to know you can read Bit Carnage every day in Exchange Invest. Alternatively, if you want to follow Bit Carnage, the daily update on happenings in the world of crypto and digital assets, you can find Bit Carnage as a standalone on Substack. This week in exchanges, London Metal Exchange, they've made progress on their plans for market structure modernisation. Some interesting tweaks being reviewed by LME as it seeks to maintain its unique core, but with some additional means to improve the market, just as competitors are seeking to add metals markets in an LME style all over the world. Meanwhile, NCDEX are inching along from being purely an Indian agricultural bourse. They've got a preliminary nod for equity derivatives from SEBI, and indeed its planned funding round was announced just the week before. America's stock market dominance is an emergency for Europe, goes another Wall Street Journal headline, which is self-explanatory. Thanks for listening to Exchange Invest Weekly. We welcome your feedback. You can contact me directly, patrick@derivativesvision.com, with any comments. Meanwhile, if you enjoyed this show, we would welcome you giving us a thumbs up. Or if you have time, a positive review will always be welcome, wherever you find this podcast. Meanwhile, in results, it was a busy week for results in the parish. All the details from Exchange Invest Daily, the newsletter no person can afford to be without in capital markets and market structure. For the sake of this podcast, let's look at some edited highlights. Private market first up, Mozambique Stock Exchange. They reported €3.3 million in profits in 2024. Pretty spectacular. Down 26% year on year, but still impressive for a market with only 16 listings. If only things were that impressive over at ASX, what a dismal set of results. Operating revenue up 7%, EBIT up 7%, and in the least you could do camp, CEO Helen Lofthouse has given up her bonus voluntarily, but hangs on like grim death to the significant salary sinecure she doesn't deserve for overseeing the ongoing collapse of ASX from one-time world leader at the turn of the century to 2025's bigger bourse laughingstock. Another set of meh results remind us that monopoly milking is not a sound approach to delivering corporate or shareholder value. La Loftus still makes $2.4 million Australian dollars, worth well foregoing her $850,000 bonus. How much is Australian dollars 2.4 million in USD? Too much for this level of disaster. Over new markets, interesting times. Vietnam, they're pumping up the volume on their proposed international financial centre. They have also proposed 6 types of commodity exchanges, that said international financial centre. Mega ambition from Vietnam, albeit given how long it took to upgrade the trading system at Ho Chi Minh Stock Exchange, which just launched a new platform after years of delay. It's a bit of a struggle to see just how rapidly this can all come to market, with aspirations for the following 6 platforms have nonetheless been identified. Commodity and quantity derivatives, carbon credits, cultural and art products, rare and precious metals, green financial products. It's an ambitious program. Also proposed as a specialist new digital trading platform that'll be a sandbox for innovative models such as tokenized commodities and decentralized platforms. Over in deals, a busy week for deals in the parish. Again, all the details were in Exchange Invest Daily, the newsletter no person can afford to be without in capital markets and market structure. For the sake of this podcast, let's look at a few edited highlights. Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, they're pushing their roadshow to attract foreign investors as their IPO is upcoming, but nonetheless they were shaded this week with the spectacular initial public offering on the New York Stock Exchange of Miami International Exchanges, which soared no less than 40% during the first couple of days after they raised $345 million, their IPO, as Tom Gallagher, the MIAX Supremo and indeed the man behind the entire process, said at the IPO celebration in the NYSE boardroom on Thursday, August the 14th. This building has been the backdrop for some of the most important chapters in the United States history, and it's truly an honour to stand here as MIAX becomes part of that story. The $2.5 billion valuation after the IPO is a strong debut, and it means that the company has gone from startup to 14th largest derivatives exchange in the world in just over a decade. The stock therefore sits at somewhere solidly in Tier 2 of Young's pyramid of exchanges. Somebody who's not going to be going public soon, the CSE, the Chittagong Stock Exchange, have been seeking Bangladesh SEC approval to offload 35% of shares and list on the Dhaka Exchange. The application has been spectacularly rejected. I simply cannot make up the number of things that were deemed to be wrong by the Bangladeshi regulator, leaving us to wonder just what on earth Chittagong do when they're running a stock exchange in the first place if this is how they approach their overall listing document. Meanwhile, it's summertime break, but we will have IPO-VIDs returning soon in early September. For the time being, don't forget you can catch all the back issues of IPO-VID on LinkedIn, Facebook and YouTube. Just go in and search IPO-VID. Our finance book of the week is the complete book of option spreads and combinations, a website strategies for income generation, directional moves and risk reduction by Scott Nations. A handy reference guide for using option spreads and other common sense options strategies. In technology news this week, Broadridge Partners are partnering with the TFL heads at BMLL to bring advanced pre-trade analytics to global trading participants. Hardly surprising, Broadridge are partnering with BMLL, the firm with that stunning lake of data. More progress for the constant delivery machine that is BMLL Technologies under CEO Paul Humphrey. Career paths this week, the Ghana Commodity Exchange Board was inaugurated, a fascinating board including MPs and other members glitterati, one might say, of Ghanaian financial markets and corporate society. The board will be led by Chairman Nanabuadi Amponim Obadade III, and the Chief Executive Officer will be Ms. Evelyn Abaka. Good luck to all concerned. Now, as mentioned previously in Big World, an old IPLY Latin teacher used to refer to projects which were clearly dubious but delivered with a certain panache as worthy of his remarking words to the effect of, "What a ghastly affair, but I have a sneaking regard for anyone who has the temerity to do this." His words sprang to mind when I read of the address of Harshvardhan Jain, who created an entire fake embassy in his Ghaziabad, northern Indian rental property. Said compound included a series of stylish limousines, all with fake diplomatic number plates. From said office, Jane offered assistance with documents and jobs in what the media call fake nations, but are specifically self-proclaimed micronations, including West Arctica, Saborga, Pulvia, and Ladonia, all of which he apparently represented as a consul. If you don't believe in the micronations themselves or that they even exist, you should check out last week's Exchange Invest Weekend special edition devoted to micronations. You can get that and you can read all about it free on the Exchange Invest website. You can sign up for the weekend newsletter for free as well via exchangeinvest.com. And I have to say, as a final footnote, as it's summertime, in an effort to improve sleep quality, the Japanese government have appointed two famous Pokemon characters, Pikachu and Snorlax, as sleep support ambassadors. And on that mysterious and magnificent note, thank you for listening to this Exchange Invest Weekly Podcast number 309. Join us daily via exchangeinvest.com, or if you have a new exchange you'd like built, get in touch. My name is Patrick L. Young, and I wish you a great week in life and markets. This show relates to the business of bourses. It is not to be construed as investment advice, nor are we making any investment recommendations. Please consult an investment advisor before you make any investments, and for goodness sake, do your due diligence and do not make investments without complying with the regulations in your home state. Exchange Invest cannot be held responsible for any investment decisions made as a result of our program, which is for entertainment purposes only. The material herein is copyright Patrick L. Young at the date of publication, while our music and sound effects are sourced from copyright-free sources. Thanks for listening to Exchange Invest Weekly, the exchange of information.